digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Yes, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome to THFC 2 with Dyer, home of Tottenham past, present, and an exciting future, of course, under the cockerel. No, I'm not saying under Igor Tudor just yet. Let's get the North London derby out of the way, and then maybe I may say in Igor we trust. Joining me tonight, of course, is my usual co-host. Many things starred in the Tudors back in the day. Did own a football club, but we're not sure now because we're not sure if he says who he says he is. We're a bit confused. Is he a man? Is he a woman? Is he an alien? We don't know. Some say that he came from the. Some say he still claims taxes off the government every month for declaring war on igloos, and some also say. That was a good one.
I'm just letting God, don't ask me. I didn't know he was gonna say, so I'm just letting him go.
And some also say he was Simon Jordan. Now he's this woman from out of Tudors. All we know is called Tequila. How are you, bud?
I'm okay, mate. And yes, it gives me an excuse because of our Igor Tudor. It gives me an excuse to put a very attractive woman as my picture. He was in a Tudors. Not that I need much of an excuse to put an attractive woman as my picture.
I'll take it. Really you. This is you, Randy. You were showing your proper picture.
If I look like this lady, firstly, I'd question my voice. But if I did, I think we'd get a lot more views, Dermo. Just wondering.
Well, yeah, that's true. That is so true. Let's welcome a few people in. Big up, there's 15 already just joined. So big up to you. Hit the like and subscribe. Big up to Giant68. Big up to Leo. Big up Leo, the only man that want me to put on my David Bowie LP. And big up to Elspur, who dazzles a bit of Las Vegas onto the channel. And big up to Giant as well, the man who's always in here first and fastest. He is the fastest man on the button. Big up to you all. Tequila, look, let's get the elephant out of the room. We have got Tottenham haven't confirmed this yet, have they? And that's the really frustrating thing.
Everybody's next best thing Romano has though, and so it's like
So did we jump the gun?
No, I mean, as much as I hate the whole "here we go" hysteria that everybody loves, I mean, normally he's right. So I'd imagine it's
normally
9 out of 10 times. So it's probably true.
And big up to Colin. Some say he really is a Tottenham fan in disguise. Some also say he has the biggest house in Doncaster but nobody can find it. Apparently. Big up to you, Colin. Hope you're doing well. He says, rumor has it, Teague was miscommunicated. Tech, dyslexia, and my voice thing is a bitch, but never mind. Was I'll let you read that one out.
Miscongeniality.
Yeah, 2016. Maybe.
I remember that film with Sandra Bullock in. I didn't like it much.
Oh, don't. I love Sandra Bullock. She was, when I was a teenager, Sandra Bullock was on my wall.
Sandra Bullock? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Her and Drew Barrymore. When I was younger.
Drew Barrymore was quite cute, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, be careful. You can see where this show's going to go if we talk about attractive women.
Yeah, good job. We've got some Spurs stories to talk about. Get to that of trouble. Yeah. What's your views on the new management? Look, we've had a bit of a while to get our heads around it. Look, we will talk more about Igor Tudor and where we hope he might spark some sort of revival. What I want to talk about, sort of with Tequila, is the Ange overlap yesterday. Now there is more coming out next week, but this one, he was there when Thomas Frank got sacked. A lot of people say it was sour grapes by him, saying it's a former manager with a sort of, grapes, like, I'm trying to get my words out. I can't get them out. Sour grapes sort of thing. Others said he was speaking the truth. Other people saying that he's a legend and should never have left the football club. I know where you stand on the last one, so there's no point asking you where you stand on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say, what he said, I agree with. I don't think there was nothing there I didn't disagree with. Are Tottenham a curious club? The question I want to ask you first. Are Tottenham a curious club?
A curious club?
Yeah,
I can think
that
of
was
other
his
words to
words.
use.
His words were, Gary Neville introduced him and said something like Tottenham, well, they're a curious club, mate, aren't they? Are they?
Okay, I read that, or I heard that, because I have seen it. I heard that as him. The word curious can mean, it depends. You can be negative or positive about it, because with a word like that, curious to me means unusual. It means different. It means lack of identity. I think that's how he was kind of going for. But I wonder if people find that disrespectful or not. I'm not saying I do. I'm wondering how people will take that, because that word curious is and for what, no matter what I think about him, I think he's a very good communicator. He says things and he says things and he tries to mix the words around. So that's a very interesting word that Ange used when he said curious. He could have used so many words and he used curious.
Would you say motivator?
I think he does. He has got motivational abilities. I don't think he's quite as good as it people think, because we did go.
I slightly disagree with you on that, but I get your point.
He won the Europa League, of course he did. But you're not telling me those players were that motivated in the league. I don't believe that for a second. I remember Dermo watching you. So I remember watching you with you some of the matches last year in the league, not Europa, where you were questioning him, rightfully so. Are these players playing for him? I remember it more than once, because that was how bad we were in the league last year. So if he's such a good motivation, if he's such a good motivationer, then surely they all should have been on side, and they weren't, obviously.
Well, while I'm going, big up to you, James. Welcome in, bud. Great to see you in. You might need to unmute yourself, because we could hear the TV in the background. That's why we muted you. But that's all right. It's okay. It's all right.
I'll bounce it on and off when I'm talking.
Yeah. What's your thought on this, Igor? Look, we're going to talk about Igor in a minute. What's your thought on the Ange thing, on the overlap yesterday? I same question to you. The question for you is curious. Why do you think Ange said Tottenham is a curious club? What's curious about them?
I think it's because they have always gone and led with the mentality of we're a big club, but we don't do big club things. So it's a curious case of what makes them think, or what makes us think we're a big club, to what we actually do doesn't tie into being a big club. So it's curious of why we would consider ourselves a big club. I think that's what he meant by it. I mean, could he have timed it any perfecter with Frank getting sacked? I mean, probably not.
He was there actually to do a show for next week. And it was just him being there at the right. And funny enough, guys, he got a text about half an hour before that to tell him Frank was going to get the sack. Big up to you, Colin. There you go. So it shows he has some connections within the club. Tequila, look, I'll go back to you, James, in a minute. But Tequila, look, there was a thing in there. And the same sort of question to you, James, as well. I'll start with you, Tequila, was what I loved. He took the players around to see all the pictures on the wall at Tottenham. All the winners that have won the club trophies in the past of the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. And he kept saying to them, Harry wasn't there. Or, Sonny, you're not on there. You should be on there. Do you think that was a good thing? I like that, Tequila. That was the one thing I said. He can be motivational when especially with Europe and especially with the final. Do you think that was a good thing? Did you like hearing that from a manager? Forget who he is, but from a Spurs manager, that he sort of regarded the history as very important to motivate these players for this final. And do you think you would have got that from a Thomas Frank? Do you think you would have got that from other managers, or was that unique to Ange Postecoglou?
No, I don't think it's unique to Ange. I do think it's a certain probably managerial trait that Ange probably has, but to say it's unique to him, no. Is it unique to his probably kind of management style? Yes, but there's other managers who I think are much more motivational managed than they are like deep tacticians and stuff like that. And I certainly don't call Ange a deep tactician. If I were to put his kind of management style, I would say he is more on that motivational side. So to hear him do it, no. It's a good tool to use because obviously it's trying to big up the players, trying to instill confidence, trying to say to them, look, you can become legends like these guys were, which is that's not a bad thing to do. We'll argue how successful it was. I mean, trophy wise, then it was successful because we added to our trophy cabinet. But again, like I wish I can't get around them not showing that same thing in the league, and that's always going to be my bugbear. But you know that.
Yeah, I know. Do you think, before we get to you, James, do you think he would have won the Super Cup as well?
I mean, I don't think we ever could have classed ourselves as favourites. But of course, it's a one-off game like that. Of course. I don't know. Yeah, we wouldn't have been favourites though. I mean, PSG are a better team than us, and they were then. And
well, I doubt that because PSG have to go through a player for me somehow qualified to the top four of the Champions League.
Don't ask me to make sense of that either. So there we go. That's just easy for you.
Yeah. I mean, James, look, it's anything else of the Ange sort of slight interview come out that you thought, I thought to dare us to do bit. I thought when he says it's plastered all around Tottenham and they're not doing to that. I thought that was a big red flag for me. And I also thought he's having a slight go at the owners, a little dig at the director of football at the time. Do you think he was? Because he said he wanted to sign players like Simone, Neto, players like that. But he says, I've got Dominic Solanke, who I like very much, and 3 teenagers. Do you think he's having a dig at Lang?
I think he was having a dig at the board more than anything. And again, I think it was... Certainly, he was echoing what the fans have said. Like we've said it for years, and to be fair, I have actually got a little bit of a slide I'll bring up later in a minute. I've got it up here in a second, and it was very much a mirror of what we see as fans. As the club don't invest. We've not backed managers. We've not spent. We've not done that. We've not done this. We've not done that. And I think it was his way of trying to adhere himself back to the fan base in case the opportunity to come back in as the interim manager presented itself. I think that was his way of sort of trying to sort of...
Really?
I think that's
you
what
think
it was.
You
It's
thought there
like,
was a small chance that he could somehow get back to being interim manager? Really?
yeah. I think his ego sort of.
I get what you're getting with that.
It was like let's because if you break it down, is he won us his first trophy in 17 years. He did it on very limited. He's saying, I won you a trophy. I did it without the players that I actually truly wanted, and required and requested. The board and the owner and the chairman and the board shafted me as much as they shafted you as fans. And I just feel as aggrieved by it as the fans did. I think that's the point he was trying to get to. And it was a case of, look, I know I didn't get on with you fans all the time, but this is me trying to warm myself back up to the fans, and on the slight inkling that Tottenham had come back to him and say, look, Ange, we know it didn't work out, or we know Levy sacked you. Because I can see it in the boardroom of them calling him in and saying, look, Ange, it wasn't really our choice. Daniel decided to sack you. We'd like you to come back in just to see how it goes for the end of the season. Just see if you can get us over the line, and then we'll assess it at end of the season. And if we think it's going to go right, and I can see it. It's a typical Tottenham move.
I could see Keeler throwing his cup of tea up in the air at the moment.
I'm just thinking, if that would have happened in a parallel universe, what my actual reaction would have been had Dermo.
What would your reaction be, actually?
I honestly think I would be done. I do. I think I would just. I wouldn't go and support another club, because that's not the way it works in my heart. Your club is your club. But I think I would be so despondent and just absolutely done. I would just I'm already mostly checked out of this season anyway, right? But I would 100% be like, you know what? I am not going to talk about Spurs until we get our permanent manager in, because I just cannot go back to that. That is what I would have said. It's like, I just can't. I can't.
I would not have been surprised if they did do that, James. And I think that was in their thinking, if I'm being honest. Now, the one thing that gets me right, with the sacking of Thomas Frank, we know it wasn't Vinay or Lang who sacked him. We know it's the Lewis family that sacked Thomas Frank. And we talked about it a bit earlier, didn't we, Tequila, about the trust that the Lewis family have undermined their CEO and their director of football. I had a long conversation with Philip Brady earlier on the phone about this. And I said to him, it's like, for an example, it's like James running a massive corporation, right? I'm CEO, and you two run the business, and I'm at the top looking at it, right? But you won't get rid of a member of staff. And you keep telling me, no, Domo, this manager's going to turn it round. He's going to turn it round. He's doing it. Tequila's the director of football. Look, I've bought him in the players. He can do the job. We've got the faith. And I end up sacking him because I don't have any trust in you two. Right? Where does this leave Vinay and Lang? And also, Paratici left because of Vinay and Lang and Thomas Frank. He couldn't believe the mess that was within the group of players. Turning up late for training, no respect for the management team. No consideration for anyone, and no wonder Paratici said, if nobody's going to listen to me, I might as well go somewhere else. So do you think there was bigger things to play here than this little sort of, I'm going back to Italy because my wife wants to go back, or I need to move back? Do you think he was just pissed off with what he was seeing, and nobody was taking sort of action here? Look, this is what's going to happen. And I think he did.
I'm probably on the 90% that he came back to Tottenham. He was there because let's be honest, he came back in November. That's when he officially rejoined Tottenham, was November. And you're telling me 2 months later his wife also wants to go back to Italy, and that's the reason why he's leaving.
Yeah. All crap.
It doesn't say. I think he's gone back in. I think he's looked around. He's gone, okay. It's a bit of a mess. It's in a bit of upheaval.
It's
Let's
fixable.
get to January. It's fixable. We can sort this if we get the players that we need. I think Paratici was probably pushing for Semenyo. I think Paratici was probably pushing for the John Duran deal. I think Paratici was probably pushing for the Ademola Lookman deal. I think all these players that Paratici was pushing for, and I probably would say that the board vetoed every single one of them and said, no, we don't need him. We don't need to spend that kind of money. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do that. We don't need a striker. We've got Kolo Muani. We've got this. We've got that. We don't need this guy. And Paratici's probably stood there going, what the fuck did you bring me back in for? Your club's a mess, and you're telling me no. Why would I stick around? Why would I stay? What's the point in my job? What is the point in me staying?
Yeah,
I might as well piss off back to Italy and go to a club who actually want to invest in their football club. I mean, he was never going to go back to Juventus.
No.
So he goes to the next biggest club in Turin, in Fiorentina.
Are we being a bit harsh here, Tequila, on the ownership? Is it more Vinay and Lang that were here with the stumbling blocks, really? If it was left to Paratici, and we know Igor was a recommendation by Paratici back in November when he did go to the board and said Thomas Frank needs to be sacked. This is what's going on. Change has to happen. They went to Vinay and Lang, and Vinay and Lang are saying, no, Paratici's talking a load of bullshit. He's talking a load of crap. It's not like that. Everything. So do you think Lang and Vinay are the biggest culprits here for the mess we're in? For allowing Thomas Frank to remain in the job for so long? Because I think they are. They should be the ones getting the blame at the moment.
The starting question you asked me was if we're being too harsh on them. I think the best way I can answer that for me is again, going back to the expectations. What are we judging them on? If we're judging them on their footballing decision-making, then I would expect two people who have no background in football to know absolutely nothing. So that means they delegated, and their delegation is meant to be, this is where this Vinay is meant to be coming. That was their big, and he is meant to be overlooking, obviously, Lange. So I can't find myself being angry at the owners for that. I can find myself being angry at them for the lack of financial and stuff like that. I can be angry at the owners for trying to spin me another yarn with their we're going to support stuff, because that remains to be seen, but it doesn't look good on that area. That I can be angry at them for. When it comes to the footballing decisions, that's why they hired these people, right? This is the delegation is the term of the day. They delegated the footballing side to these two men, and even though most of us think these two men are buffoons, and it looks like they are buffoons, when it came down to it, as you just said, they overrode them. I wonder who gave them the impetus to do that. Do you think it was just they just looked around and saw that the stadium was barely selling its tickets anymore? They obviously heard all the boos. How can you not? Do you think
Carrington? I think it was Carrington. He was there at Newcastle. I think it was Carrington. I think myself, Carrington went to Vinay and Charlie. Went, hang on, I wouldn't be trusting these two monkeys, these two fucking assholes here. Something here is not right.
I don't see, Dermo, how Vinay and Lang can honestly continue. They obviously will. Otherwise, they would have been let go. I would like to think that they are on borrowed time. They can't change everything in February. That's too much upheaval, and it's too volatile right now with our form and where we sit in the league, that they can't do too much upheaval. They've decided to do the manager upheaval. I wouldn't surprise me if they wait till the summer. Hopefully we don't get relegated, and then we'll see the back of those two. I would like nothing more than to see the back of those two as well.
Well, I have an update for you. Would you like an update? Because we've been waiting for an update. And it's not a Tottenham update. This is an update from our source. Right, this is how it goes. With Levy no longer in the picture, internal resistance to Pochettino's return has reduced, one of the major historical barriers is now gone. I don't think that was Levy. That was more what's her name that left at the start of last season.
Donna.
Donna Cullen.
Donna Cullen.
Yeah, the one that fancied tequila.
I always heard that Levy and Pochettino retained a good relationship after he left.
They did.
They were
It
still
was
friends.
Donna that didn't want him back. So yeah. I always wondered was there something between Levy and Donna. We'll never know. I hope somebody writes.
Maybe I'm going to get in trouble for this. Maybe Donna fancied Poch and he just in his Argentinian way he said not for me. She took the hump.
Maybe. Why are you going to get in trouble for that?
Oh, you can't say anything nowadays on YouTube if I get in trouble, don't I?
Yeah, but mind you, I said He-Man last night, and my comment got flagged for it. I still don't know what He-Man has got to do with being flagged, but never mind. And that was on the gaming channel.
Yeah, I know. I was there. I had to let it through, mate. Yeah,
I know. I still can't understand why. A new leadership are reviewing identity reset. We are who we are. Options and Pochettino name has resurfaced strongly as a cultural first appointment rather than a short-term fix. Pochettino remains open to Spurs talks. Sources related to the emotional pull of unfinished business narrative still reinstates arguably more now. Levy is out. Main obstacle still timing. Pochettino's commitment to the USA's men national team through the 2026 World Cup. But no indication he walks mid-cycle. Spurs' current thinking: stabilise short term, lay groundwork quietly, revisit Pochettino post-World Cup if trajectory and ownership vision allow. Fan sentiment is being actively monitored. A Pochettino return is viewed internally as a move that would instantly reconnect club, squad, and supporters. Now, to be fair, Tequila and James, I've always said this, haven't I? That Pochettino, if you want to unite everyone, Pochettino's your man. And I've quite consistently said that. Do you think Pochettino is the answer? Put away your love for Pochettino, put away your emotional pull for Pochettino, which we probably all do in one way or another. Do you think Poch is the man, or do you think like there's a De Zebra, the former Brighton manager, or do you think there's another manager out there that you would bring in the summer? And get involved in the chat as well. Put your thoughts in it again.
Do you want to go first, James, on this one?
Yeah, I'll go first on this one, Tequila. Thank you.
I was leaving it to anyone to go first. So
I look. Is Poch the right man for the job? I mean, when you look, if you're gonna look at it objectively, as a manager, as a club level manager, he's not done a great deal. He barely won at PSG. So it could be viewed. Hello. Yes.
It's nice to know that we're all deluded. See, even the dog's a Poch fan. Even the dog wants to get in. James has now transformed into a dog, Tequila.
He's half dog, half man.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I just think that there are better managers out there, and I think it's the love for the club that Pochettino has, and the memory of that historic Champions League run, and the fact that he wasn't given time to prove and sort of really kick the team on after that Champions League run. Yes, we had a bad start to that season. Did it warrant him being sacked? I don't think it did.
No.
But it's one of those. He
fair,
went to Chelsea. And when he went to Chelsea, he went to one of his rivals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. To be fair, the fans were calling him to be sacked at the start of that season. The fans were calling for him to sack. Many fans were ringing up radio stations, talk sport. The man has to go. He's out of his depth. He doesn't know what he's doing.
There was a lot of. I wouldn't say it was most fans.
I wasn't one of them, but
No,
if
it
I'm
wasn't
being
most
honest.
fans. It wasn't most fans, but there was certainly a large number. I wouldn't say it was
Yeah.
most fans, but I would say it could be 50-50. I think there was a lot.
I would say it was a pretty even split, Tequila, as
Yes,
well. I
I
would say
agree.
it
I
was pretty
agree, yeah.
50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a very even split of sort of fans who wanted him and fans who didn't want him. Benny O'Sotello 444. I think that's a good shout. This comment here. Terzic. I think he's
I've
a
heard
very,
that, yeah.
very good. He's a very, very good tactical manager. And I think he'd be good for Spurs. I was very surprised that he wasn't approached, but I would more than likely probably think he wouldn't have taken it on an interim basis as well.
Thing is, James, though, he's been available all year. So
yeah, he has.
they easily
I'm
could have
very
gone in
surprised
from-
we didn't go for him in the summer, Tequila, to be fair.
Yeah. His name was mentioned a few times, wasn't it, James? It was mentioned
Yeah.
a few times in the summer. I mean, Tequila, where are you on it with Poch? I mean, look, Poch, you've gone on record that you and me have had plenty of debates about Poch, haven't we?
Mhm.
We've had our disagreements or agreements with Poch. And yes, Gerard is completely right. I have, to many fans' dismay, I have called him a loser because he didn't win anything. And I have called him that. If you win something, you're a winner. If you don't win something, you're a loser. It doesn't make you better not next time. You lose, you're a loser. And
Isn't it what Ricky Bobby used to say, Dermo? If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, exactly. God, those are you're making me feel old. Do people stop making me feel fucking old? Just stop it. But the killer did say to me today that anyone under 50, yeah, well, anyone under 55 is still young, so I'm taking that and I'm keeping hold of that. But I have said that to you, Tequila, and you and me have agreed or disagreed on that. We did agree that he was a snake going to Chelsea.
Yep,
And we both said, and we did talk about it the other night. So without sounding, both of us sounding like being massive hypocrites, which we probably are.
Well, we're gonna have to eat some crow if he comes back, because me and you are gonna have to look over the fact he went to Chelsea.
Yeah, and I have to look back that he's a loser. But upon that bombshell, he is the right man for the job, isn't he? If I'm being honest, maybe what James said is right, but I think if you want to unite the fan base, he is the man for that job. He would instantly unite the whole club if Poch came back.
I am a little taken back, personally. And I can't argue with Dermo's definition of what a winner and loser is. I do argue with other things, but as the book says, a winner is somebody who crosses the finish line. I can't argue with that logic. That is true. And unfortunately, Poch, despite getting so close so many times, couldn't quite get over the line. These are all facts. What I am a little dismayed at is how quickly people forget. How quickly people forget of the majority of Poch's reign. Maybe not the last season, as James says, but for the majority of his reign, maybe not his first year, he didn't have the best of starts. His first year wasn't amazing. But I'm just a little bit taken back sometimes by, I don't know where people think we are in the pecking order. Because for me, he had us as title challengers only for 2 seasons. Only for 2. But for 2 seasons, he made this jaded fan in myself believe that we could win a title, a league title. And I know Dermo tells me time and again we're a cup team, and that's fine. I'm not dismissing any of those things. All right. But for me, and this is just me personally, I think winning a league is much more impressive than winning a cup, in just my opinion. So he made us title challengers for those 2 seasons. So Dermo's right. Logically, he is a loser because he did not win. But I just baffling that people just kind of forget so fast. And look what's happened, especially in the league, at us since he's left. With the exception being for Conte's one season with Conte would be, other than that, one season with Conte's first season where we just about piped top 4 right at the end.
Yeah, but we sacked him. We sacked him when we were in 4th place. and then we had a massive derail after that.
Yeah.
Conte only got the sack because he ranted out at the board, that the players and the board and everyone. Well, I agree with you, Tequila, on the title run. You're right in what you're saying, but I maybe people can look back, and this is not a disrespect to anyone, but people can look back with rose-tinted glasses and say, yes, that was a good time. Poch's first season, people wanted him gone during the first season because of how bad we were. We got to many finals, and we should have won them finals. To be fair, I want to ask you this question. I don't bring James into this conversation because I think it's an interesting conversation we need to have as a fan base. By the way, do you feel if Poch had a more experienced second in the command, like a Harry Redknapp, like somebody like that, do you think we might have got over the line? And I might have had to eat my words if he had an experienced number two with them. It's a bit like Kenny Dalglish took over Liverpool in '86. He had Bob Paisley as his second in command. Bob Paisley, very successful Liverpool manager beforehand. And he went on to win the double because he had that experienced person next to him. Do you think if Poch had somebody experienced next to him, do you think he would have won? He might have a manager to get him over them lines.
Perhaps, but then you got the old thing is it's more chefs cooking the brew.
Yeah,
You have Poch would have to have a good relationship with this person, and I'm not saying it wouldn't have been possible, but what if they didn't get on? What if they clash over stuff? I mean, I'm not saying it can't work. I'm not saying you haven't got a point, but it also can go tits up as well. Do you remember? I don't remember the season, Dermo. You know more about older stuff than I do. Everton had two managers. Do you remember that season?
Yeah, I do.
And how that ended. That's what goes through my head. I just can't remember that. It might be.
Oh, that was what's his name?
managers.
Harry Kendall and I forget your man's second name. It was Harry Kendall, wasn't
They
it?
were joint managers. It's
Yeah,
rarely
joint.
ever happened since, but they were joint
Liverpool
managers.
had that as well, didn't they? Back in the they had Benitez and Roy Evans as joint man, or was it
Were they?
Roy Evans and somebody? They were joint managers, and then one left. It wasn't Benitez. It was
I remember Everton having it. I don't remember Liverpool.
Yeah. Liverpool did it as well. I think back in the day. I get what you're saying about Poch. I can agree with you with some of it, but not with all of it. I'm sorry, I can't, because I mean, where are you on it, James? Do you agree with Tequila? I think you might agree with him more than you would agree with me, which is I think it's fair. I think he does make sense, but I just can't agree with all of it.
I kind of do and I kind of don't. Look, I look back on the Poch era and I try to look at the whole picture of the Poch era. I looking at snippets of the Poch era, you can say, oh yeah, this season and we were almost there. We were almost there. But I look at what I saw in the Poch era, excuse me, was the progression of the team. Now, I look at comparisons to the team that we have now, to the team that Poch had. Right, and you take a fully fit Tottenham team that we've got right now, the Tottenham squad that we have, right? We had a very young Dele Alli.
Yeah.
We had probably two of the best centre-backs in the Premier League in Vertonghen and Alderweireld. We had a goalkeeper that was prone to a little bit of craziness and a few mistakes, but was a solid shot stopper in Hugo Lloris. You've got the same in Vicario. Prone to a mistake or two, but a solid shot stopper. Van der Ven and Romero, solid centre backs when they are both on their game. You look at our wing backs at the time, Danny Rose and Kyle Walker. You've got a Doggy and Porro. There's similarities of sort of players. You look at the middle of the park. You've got that. You had Moussa Dembele. You've got Benton Kerr. You had a young Dele Alli. You've got Bergvall. You had Christian Eriksen. We've got
Harry
Xavi
Kane.
Simmons. You've got Harry Kane up front. The probably the biggest difference between a Poch team then and a Spurs team now is the left wing, where we had a young, upcoming Min Son who was taking the Premier League by storm. We haven't got that for the left-hand side. We've got Kulusevski and Kudus for the right, but we haven't got that dynamic left winger.
Or a striker like Harry Kane.
Or a striker like Harry Kane. So the question is I suppose if Poch did come back and you look at the squad that we've got and the team that we've got, are we 2 players away from bouncing back up the table? Are we a left winger and a striker away from bouncing back up the table?
Not for me.
Or
Not, yeah.
or is there more underlying? And that's what I try to look at with regards to the whole possibility of Pochettino returning. Look, I loved Pochettino's era. I did. Probably in modern day, one of the best modern eras that we had. I've considered Harry Redknapp's era for Spurs a great era for Spurs, a great one. I think Poch took us to another level. And then after Poch, all I see is decline. Mourinho, Conte, Nuno, Frank, Postecoglou. It's just been a constant, steady decline of results, performances, and it's just been, okay, this isn't working, let's bring somebody new in. This isn't working. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. You've got now too many players that were bought for too many different systems.
Yeah, it's a mixture of everyone.
Yeah, and would Poch be able to unite them? That's the question. Would Poch be able to unite them? Is, forgetting even if Poch doesn't come back, is any manager going to be able to come in and unite all these players from different managers and unite them to be able to play in one cohesive team? Because that's the key. That is the key right there. You've got to get all these players playing in a cohesive team. And
that's
right
the
now,
thing, isn't it?
We're not cohesive.
No. And that's the thing, isn't it, Tequila? That is the point, isn't it? That James probably rightly made. Will Poch do that? Yes. But for me, there's a bigger thing at play here. Maybe I'm lucky because I've seen good teams before Harry Redknapp, under probably Terry Venables or under David Pleat of 87 and the team under Keith Birkinshaw. I've seen many good players like Tony Galvin and players like that. So maybe I'm lucky that I've seen more where, sadly, you've had to go through, and James probably have to go through a lot of turmoil, nightmares over the years. But do you think we did the squad, didn't we, before Christmas, and we only said Mickey van der Ven was a decent one out. How much of a job, and Tequila, I'm going to give you some names here, and basically, and I've had another update. So Spurs are not Russian. The strategy is stability now. Full appointment in summer with. Now, these are the names, Tequila, with you. Pochettino, De Zebra, Marco Rose, Eden Tezek, Robbie Keane, and Igor Tudor, depending on how well he gets on. So, if you can't get Pochettino, who would you go with that them next lot? If you couldn't get Poch, who's your next second pick out of that lot? I think I've
Another
made
wide
Tequila
for
fall
me.
off his chair.
No, I'm processing it because there was an easy answer to you threw me the curveball at the end.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you the curveball.
As much as I love Robbie Keane, it wouldn't be Robbie Keane. It's too big for him right now, in my opinion.
Even well, it says here Robbie Keane is a left-sided, but real consideration due to his club ties would require a strong backroom team to progress further. I agree with that.
I'm not in love with any of them, but that's the list you've given me. Terzic
That's
probably.
the list that's just popped on my WhatsApp.
If my choice would be Pochettino, and then there's a bit of a gap, that's my personal choice. But
Well,
since
if you
Dermo
can't
said,
get Pochettino,
that's what I mean.
who
Then probably Terzic then. Out of that list. Even though it would annoy me greatly knowing that he was available ages ago and it's been just a waste of time. If it ends up getting him, it's just like, well, should have got him.
We
last
could have
season.
done this. We could have done this 2 years ago.
Pretty
now
much, yeah.
this is the pick now, guys. It's got Pochettino remains top of the long-term list, but availability tied to USA men's national team commitment through 2026 World Cup. Roberto De Zerbi is actively admired by decision makers for style and the Burma profile, seen as a ready now option if timing lines up. Marco Rose has been added to the eternal shortlist, tactical flexibility, Bundesliga pedigree, appealing to new leadership. We've got Aiden Tezak is monitoring the situation closely, interested from his side, is genuine, viewed as a European competition specialist. We're not in Europe next season, so why they'd be getting him in? Robbie Keane, as I've just read, is a left field real consideration due to club ties, would require a strong backroom team to progress further. Igor Tudor, currently interim only, no indication yet he's preferred permanent solution, but results could change the conversation. I mean,
So
how about this? Hang on, how about this, guys? Pochettino with Robbie Keane in the backroom staff. I said this to you last night, didn't I, Tequila? And
Yeah.
and let him take over Poch when Poch leaves.
I'd be more than happy with that. I'm not sure Robbie Keane would agree to that, but I'd be more than happy with that.
be a step backwards for Robbie Keane, really, going
It
back
would.
to an assistant.
He'd have to be very patient because he might be waiting. Well, depending on how long Pochettino, but he could be waiting. If Poch was successful, obviously, he's going to make Keane wait even longer. That's going to be a weird. That's going to be a weird thing. Is Keane in the backstage going to be like, "I hope you get fired soon, so I can take over."
But do you think somebody put it in the chat? Do you think that would be the? I mean, Chinwag Spurs here. Big up to you, Chinwag Spurs. He says, "Then Keane is the natural replacement when Poch goes."
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that being the idea. Like I've my doubts that Keane would agree to it, but if he was
I think we all would. But I love Robbie Keane anyway, so having him back at the club would like bringing me back to my teenage years, watching him run on that field and doing these cartwheels. James,
can I just add one thing very quickly and then
which can, but sorry.
With Pochettino, I hear what James is saying, and James is right when he says about meshing all these different styles because the players we saw that. I'll go back to Conte. We brought 2 win backs for a 5-3-2 system, and then he was gone before Doggy even came in. Madness, insanity, madness. But such is the way of things with our transfer policy because it is madness a lot of times. But the thing about Pochettino is, I believe that how can I put this without it becoming a therapy session? Okay,
it is a therapy session.
Where as Spurs fans, the majority of us are hurting. We're hurting. Because we've been so. I know we had the cup win. I get it. A cup win was like a momentary release from the pain, right? But for the last 5 seasons, as James has put, we've been on decline, quite a sharp decline as well. And the last 2 seasons domestically have been 2 of the worst seasons in my, if not the 2 of the worst seasons domestically in my Spurs fandom. So we are absolutely devastated as a fan base. We feel bad, and Dermo knows exactly what I'm telling about because Dermo is one of the most passionate, positive Spurs fans I've met, and he feels it. We all do.
We've had roles reversed on this channel. You're positive and I'm negative.
I wouldn't say I'm positive, but what I am saying is that we need a bit of healing. I'm sorry. And I think Pochettino, I know not everyone's going to feel this way, but I think there's enough of us he would bring back a bit of a feel-good factor. Do I honestly believe in my heart to hearts that Pochettino is going to come in and we're going to be back becoming title challengers? No, not at all.
Take 2 years. In my
At
Is
least.
this a manager, though?
If-
Is this a
Keeler
manager
came-
you're
if-
going to back? Both of you. Is
if-
this a manager you would get? Sorry, James. Sorry, bud.
It's all right. I'm agreeing with Keeler.
Yeah.
Is Poch going to come back and we're going to drastically change and turn everything around? Absolutely not. I think it would take 2 years, and it would take 2
I think you
years.
might be being generous of that as well, James. I think you might be.
And I'm being very optimistic with that. But I'm thinking 2 years and nothing but flat out investment here. Like we're pumping 200 million per window plus is what that team would need. We would need a world-class striker that I would say if Poch come back, me personally, just very quickly, if we couldn't get Poch, just to answer a quick question, Demo, if we couldn't get Poch, tell you what I'd take out of those names, and it might not be a popular choice, I'd take Marco Rose.
I'm going to ask you, who is he?
Marco Rose.
Yeah. My brain's gone dead, so I'm old, so I forget.
Ex-Dortmund manager.
Well, I had to Google who Igor
read-
Tudor was today.
You read him out. You read him out in the list.
I know. It was, but I just don't know. I can't
I
remember
would take
who he
him.
was.
I would take him. And that would be my choice if we didn't get Poch. I think he would be brilliant for the club. I think he's tactically astute. He knows how to adapt. He knows how to do everything. He knows how to motivate. He's a brilliant manager. And I think he stepped away from the Dortmund job just a little bit too soon. But that was his choice. But if we got Poch back, the first window, we'd need at least a £300 million investment in players. Be a left winger and a striker.
Yeah. This is the problem I have.
And that's it. 2 players with £300 million expenditure.
This is the problem I have, right, with Pochettino. Is he going to be made available straight away to come into the summer? No, he won't come into July. And we'd be back in season then. So we're going to be well behind. Now, if the United States got knocked out early in the World Cup, then it might make things easier. Tequila and James, I know you're tight in time, James. I've just seen, so I'll go to you first. And Tequila, you may got a few other things to talk about, bud. Do you think it is important for Tottenham now, in the next month, or even in May, to come out with some sort of announcement? I mean, Tottenham haven't even announced yet that Igor Tudor is our interim manager yet. We're all assuming he is. I haven't seen anything on Tottenham official, not yet. I don't know if it has been put up yet. But can you know, does it have to be announced earlier to get everything in place, and then he can say to the people, these are the players I want, blah blah blah, or he puts one of his training staff at Tottenham to evaluate the squad, so he can report back to Poch, this is what needs to happen. Because if we wait for Poch until July, we've lost then a good portion of the transfer window. That's my worry.
I think most likely the way it would work is, again, let's not be naive here. Everyone's got phones. Everyone's, can communicate without other people knowing. It would be naive for me to think that Spurs wouldn't have held conversations with Poch under the hood. This is what I think. And they could easily be communicating with him to kind of say, okay, what kind of players do you want for next season, whilst Poch handles his business officially with the US? Do I condone it? Doesn't matter if I condone it or not, but I believe this is most likely what happens in the real world. So I can see it happening, Dermo, and I can see us being active in the transfer market, probably with Poch's help, unofficially. Because Poch, when he's got to prepare the team for USA, but Poch doesn't got to worry about scouting players or anything like that. Obviously he's got to pick a team, obviously from the US nationals. But as you know, a lot of times when a lot of the managers who do international work say that a lot of their time just involves them kind of traveling from place to place, and that every day they don't have their hands full every day like club managers do. So there's a lot of time. What I mean is in between. So I can see Poch doing a USA job, and then keeping in communication with Spurs, knowing he's going to take over at Spurs, and then probably we won't be as. Let me put it this way: we won't be as far behind as you may think, because I think it's naive to think that way. And Poch ain't going to stay with the USA, even if Poch were to somehow mythically win the World Cup with the USA. Where do you go from there? So
Retain
he's not going to stay, Dermo. It's like that's the highest. That would be the peak.
Yeah, it is.
So my point is, there's no way that he's going to stay. I'll be shocked if Poch stays at USA. Come on, guys. This is all lining up. It's pretty obvious what I think is going to happen. The stars are aligned this time. They just have.
You rarely want Poch to come back, don't you? If you were to nail your nails to the mast, you really want them to come back, don't you?
I want, and maybe I'm being selfish, I want to feel good about my team again. The last time I really felt good about my team again was under Pochettino. Is that selfish? To be fair, then maybe I'm being selfish.
To be fair, the last 2 seasons have been pretty.
Well, that's what I was trying to say earlier. We need healing, and even if Poch doesn't come back and hit the heights as he once did, and as James said, 2 years, maybe many more than that, and even then, it's far from guaranteed. Right now, Dermo, I said to you the other day, next year, can I just finish in? I just want to finish in the top 10.
What? Yeah. Just very quickly, James, before we mention our new sponsor, we've got some news announcement to make. We have today, in the last couple of hours, put ink to paper onto a new sponsorship deal of the channel for the whole of the 26th season and the 26-27 season. They will be also sponsoring a future Ireland channel as well, and will be our match day sponsor moving forward from now until we decide to end the contract and the World Cup as well. So we've got that coming in a minute. Really thrilled by it. Tough talks today, wasn't it, Tequila? Tough talks.
Very tough.
A bit hairy at times, but we got the deal done, didn't we, man?
He's a great negotiator, that lad, isn't he?
Yeah, it is. With this, we had to bring in Daniel Levy to end up to close the deal, and that was really hard. James, look, we're okay, Budge. I know you're having your dinner. You're not long at home in, Budge. You're right. Where are you on this, on Igor? We understand he's into the end of the season. I've said he's got to start the ground running. People are saying to me, "Oh, he gets a pass from the North London derby." No, he hits the ground running. I watched the game last night with Brentford, and I thought Arsenal won all that. If I'm being honest, Brentford should have won that game.
Listen, I'm not saying that it's definitely happening, but Arsenal
I have a feeling for us, but yeah, they are bottling
it. They're bottling it.
They are.
They had a chance and they are bottling it.
Yeah, I have a sneaky feeling. Look, 3-0's coming. 3-0's coming.
Igor Tudor.
Yeah, what's your
I think he's not a well-known name. He's not a big name.
No.
He's a very he's a risky appointment. Let's be honest, because of he's got no big name, big club status. But I question everybody in the chat, you guys as well. For people who are not chatting, the people who are just watching, the people who pick up this video afterwards, who watch it as a VOD, Google him. Google his last 3 jobs. Look at what he's done. He went into Juventus, who sacked the manager in a tumultuous situation. 10, 11 games left of the season. 9 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss or something, or 7 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. Got them Champions League football. Went to Lazio, very similar situation. Team was struggling, staring relegation out of the Serie A. And for Lazio, that would have been catastrophic because there's no money in Italian football anymore. And it would have been disastrous for them. Went in, stabilised them, got the job done. A very, very similar sort of game win, draw, loss ratio. And for the amount of games he played. Managed, sorry, not played. The one team where it didn't, can't remember who it was. I looked at it while I was travelling home. There was one team he didn't go in and it didn't quite work out. Oh no, it wasn't. It was he took Lazio, he stabilised them, kept them up, and sort of moved them up the table.
Was it
And it was the
Galatasaray?
following. No, it was the following season at Lazio. It didn't quite work out, and he ended up getting sacked after about 12, 13 games from Lazio. He is good at coming in and stabilising clubs. He is, but if someone would say describe Igor Tudor in one word, I would describe him as the fixer. He comes in and he will fix. He will fix the issues. He will fix probably the poor mentality that's in the squad at the moment. He will fix the way that we're playing. You will probably find that we will set up the same way every game. And the players will know what the job is, know what they're doing, and know how he wants them to play. He will fix that. If he gets a couple of wins, so I'm not saying we're taking the North London derby out of the equation, but just moving that one to one side, because that's going to be a hard game. That'd be a hard game for any manager. The North London derby. Come on, guys, we know it. It's a hard game for anybody. It's a hard game for Arteta as well. It's a massive, massive derby. Probably one of the biggest derbies next to the Manchester derby in the Premier League. And the Merseyside derby as well. It's going to be a hard match for him, and certainly his first match. If he comes in after, like say, moving the Arsenal game to one side, but if he comes in and the game after the Arsenal game, Fulham, is it we play? Is it Fulham?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Fulham. We beat Fulham. We then play Crystal Palace. We beat Crystal Palace. We get 2 wins on the bounce. The fans and the atmosphere inside that stadium will change. The fans will be up for it. We've got 2 wins. This guy knows what he's doing. We've switched it. And then if he can pick up another 2 wins out of the next 3 or 4 games, then all of a sudden he's hailed the conquering hero and he's fixed us. He's fixed the problem that was clearly there. So for me, I think it's a sensible option, although it has an element of risk because he's never managed in the Premier League. The risk is that he's never managed here. But the positive side is he knows how to come into clubs and stabilise them.
Isn't that, though, the thing, Tequila, isn't it? He's never managed in the Premier League. But if you've managed one club, surely you can manage any club. Any league is sort of the same. But he does come in with a sort of a risk A type attacking football. He likes playing a high line, so he got a little bit of Ange, a bit of an attacking football. He does play with 3 at the back. Do you worry that his style might not suit us, Steve?
Whilst James has been talking, I've been listening to him, but at the same time, I've been looking at Wikipedia stats for Igor Tudor, and I've literally gone through all these clubs, trying to notice patterns and stuff like that. First thing I noticed, and this probably won't apply really, he never stays anywhere very, very, very long.
No.
He's got very, very short times here. All of these times are very, very short times.
They're not very long, are they?
All of them are very, very short. So a long-term appointment, I'd be very concerned, but that's not what he is. I also noticed that a lot of times, as James has just said, he has entered these jobs March, April, February, March, April. So he at least, as James says, will be used to coming to clubs that are having a bad time, which of course we are.
Yeah.
So maybe it works for him. So I'm thinking maybe, and I haven't seen enough of him to know with my own eyes, but just on these, and maybe he's one of those. It's like a massive star. The biggest stars in the universe, right, are the shortest lived.
Yeah.
Why? Because they burn so bright for half as long.
Yeah.
So my point is, and maybe that's exactly what this guy is. That maybe he's only got so many ideas, and then once they're done, he's done.
Yeah.
So for a short-term 3-month period, maybe he's got all these ideas. Maybe he knows exactly the right things to say, but he can never sustain itself because he runs out of stuff. So for a short-term 3-month, that might be perfect.
Yeah. But surely the players have to get on board very quickly, and the players have to take a hell of a lot of responsibility for where we are at the moment too.
Maybe this is what he's good at. He's good at getting those players on side. It's just he can't sustain it. This is what this says to me, that he can't sustain. He can't sustain stuff, but that he can start strong. And if they've identified that is his skill set, and I will give Land and Vinay credit if this is what they have identified.
I don't think they
in short spurts. He's great. He's great in short spurts. Well, we don't know. I guess we'll find out in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
In short spurts, maybe that is exactly what he's there for.
Yeah, yeah.
And if so, then maybe he is. Maybe he's a great appointment. If we signed him for it as a permanent manager, I think we'd all be losing our shit.
Yeah, I think he was recommended by Paratici back in November to come in and fix the problem. So if he was recommended by Paratici in November, then something must have been.
These win percentages are not particularly great. I mean,
they're not. We talked about it earlier, didn't we?
His Juventus, which is his last job, was 41. 41.67.
Yeah.
So let's not get too carried away. But Dermo, me and you said this before: 3 wins, and I'll be honest. And I'll be honest with you guys, I could care less if he plays attacking football. I could care less if he plays 10 at the back. For a short-term 3-month period, I could care less what he does.
And I'm still sticking to it. We're going to finish 12th. I'm still saying we're going to finish 12th in the league.
As long as we don't get relegated, I could care less if he finished 12th or if he finished 17th right now, don't I? So
yeah, I know.
That's the desperation we find ourselves.
It is. Shall we end up on a bit of good news? Shall we end up on our new sponsorship announcement we're going to make on the channel tonight? I'm really pleased with this. You are as well. I know you are. So do you want to announce it or shall I? I'll let you announce it. Go on. We have a new sponsor.
I haven't got it all written down. I can tell you the name of it.
Yeah.
McConaughey's Designs is our new sponsor for this year and next. I think that I haven't got it written down, Dermo, so I think you're going to have to read out.
Okay.
I haven't got it.
Let me get that. Yeah, it is a new announcement for a sponsorship. There will be a video coming as well for you guys. If you like to do, it is mostly for YouTubers and content creators, but I'm sure there's more to it as well, isn't there, Tequila? We are in the process. We're in the early stages of putting together T-shirts, aren't we, as well? So while I'm getting that up, do you want to tell the viewers what's coming up in the future? What sort of where we're going with this partnership, because it's going to be very exciting what's coming up in the future. A few things are being worked on in the background, aren't they? So
yeah, we don't want to tell you how the sausage is made exactly, but you'll see some new intro videos and stuff like that coming, won't they, Dermo? We've got plans.
Yeah, there is. We've got new intros coming in for match day. We've got new match day designs coming up for next season. So a lot coming up, and I think it's absolutely. I'm over the moon. We're over the moon with this partnership, and it's a multi-year contract we've signed with them.
2 years. Yeah.
Trying to make. We're trying to become too official.
Dermo's become corporate Dermotron.
Oh no, I'm not corporate. You know that as well as I do. I am not corporate. Right. So O'Connor Designs. I'll be glad when he gets the video sorted out though.
Yeah, there's going to be
Designs
a
who's
video coming, isn't there?
Yeah. O'Connor Designs, who's been helping creators level up their channels. And if you're looking for professional YouTube thumbnails, intro videos, studio backgrounds, and logo designs, O'Connor Designs specializes in clean custom work made specifically for creators, not generic templates. They offer fair pricing, both established channels and smaller creators with a quick turnaround and proper attention to detail. If you want your channel to look more professional and stand out, check out O'Connor Designs. And if you mention the promo code THFC TID26, you will get 10% off your first order. And the email is in the link before. There is going to be, I think, a website up soon as well. And there will be a little video, or we might do a video ourselves for it on the channel. The three of us, me, James, and Tequila. There you go. There you go. Big day for us, a big day for the channel, a big day for O'Connell Designs as well. Dermot, now I wish it was Jameson. Believe me, me and James will be doing the watch along, getting pissed. Look, James will become half time, absolutely half cockeyed. By the end of the watch along, I will be falling off my chair because I'd be too drunk. The killer would be just there laughing, pulling his hair out. What's happening?
I will just be there laughing. You're right about that.
My co-hosts are drunk.
No change there then.
No, I am Irish. You know, what do you expect from an Irishman?
You've been watching Spurs for the last 2 seasons. I wouldn't expect anything less. In fact, I'm surprised any of us are sober.
I've been watching Spurs for the last 45 years. I'm surprised I'm still sober.
Exactly.
Big up to you. And it is. He says, looking forward to work. Yeah, so are we. And do, guys, if you do run a YouTube channel, I know, like, big up to you, Vicky Villi, as well. Do hit the email below, and he will sort out stuff here. Does fantastic work. And I'm looking forward to the stuff we've got coming up. Yes, we are going to cover the World Cup for you guys as well in the summer, and there will be Ireland games coming up, but where that will be news coming up soon. Tequila, look, we're going to leave it for tonight. I think we've talked about everything, haven't we? We've sort of debated this to its debate is death. Any last thing you want to give? Any wisdom? Any sort of, voice of wisdom? Do you want to give out to the people watching, or
I just think it's more of a hope than anything else. I hope that whoever it is, and if you don't want to write off the season, then don't. If you want to still, think we got a chance at the Champions League, I mean, you never know. At least none of us have got any expectations, so at least we can enjoy the Champions League for whatever that means, for however long we manage to stay in it. But I just hope the next season we start going in an upwards direction, because there's been so many seasons in a row we've just been going down and down and down and down. So assuming we manage to somehow escape this season, and I think we will, I do think we will manage to escape. I just hope that whoever it is, I want it to be Poch, but that's just my opinion. Based upon the names given, I want it to be Poch. I just hope that next year.
Yeah, go on, bud. Sorry.
I just want to hope the next year that we're all on a similar wavelength. We don't all have to agree exactly. That's unrealistic to expect that, but just have a bit more positivity, including myself, who is certainly just as guilty as everyone else as being negative. And it's hard not to be when we go through some of the things we have, especially the last couple of seasons.
And I think we need to be united, don't we, Tequila? We need to be as one, I think.
I don't expect us all to be, we're never all going to agree on everything, but in the similar kind of wavelength, rather than just this 50-50 divide. I don't, maybe that's unrealistic. Maybe it's always going to be that way, and maybe that's just the way that it is. But I'm hoping, that's why I think I want Pochettino, because I do think that he will galvanize us, even if it's only for a couple of seasons, and then someone else, whoever that person is, takes over and then can push us on. I just want a bit more. I just want us to be a bit more united. I want to see us climbing up the table. That doesn't mean I expect us to be fighting for the Champions League. I just want us 7th, 8th, maybe a chance of getting into Europe via the league, and just bringing some respect. And that's the word I'm going to close on, respect, because me personally, I do not respect this team. I didn't last season, and I don't this season, and I want to respect my club again. That's it for me.
I think it's right. I think we should, but I think that I think the future is going to be exciting up with Tottenham. I've always said it. I always said it that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We will rise again. We will win again. The cock will rise. We will win. We will be successful. And look, if it's Pochettino, he will get my full support. Igor Tudor, he's got my full support. I just couldn't get behind Thomas Frank, and I'm sorry. And maybe I was blindsided by Ange, and maybe it's a bit like for many Poch fans that maybe Mourinho wasn't their manager because they were so invested in the Poch years, and I get that. But I think you're right, Tequila. As a fan base, we have to come together. This bitching has to stop. This infighting has to stop. This tearing each other has to stop. Just because one channel has a different view to another channel, what do? You go on, that channel's a load of bollocks. They're talking bullshit. All that has to stop. And I think it does. Me and Tequila had enough shit last year from other channels because of our views on Ange Postecoglou. And I think for what we went through, Tequila, last season, and I think we need a bit of unity, don't we? And we need to come together. And I think you would agree with that, wouldn't you? Very quickly.
Of course. Even though I don't, as I said, even though I don't expect us to be like all singing from the exact same, because we're all going to have our individual opinions, but just in the same, at least going in the same direction, which is not what I felt we have been the last couple of seasons. I think the day we appoint Pochettino, Tequila will be jumping on every champagne bottle going, James, do you want to add anything to what me and Tequila said? Closing out, because I think it is important that we now have to unite, don't we?
Absolutely. I apologise for dropping off stream, guys. I needed to eat. My stomach, I'm surprised you didn't hear it. It was growling at me that much. But no, I agree. I think we do need to start putting together. And that word, Tequila, that you used is a perfect word, respect. Mm-hmm. We just want to be respectable. One thing you did say, Dermo, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. Let's just hope it's not a train.
So look, I'm going to end it here. Where are we going to finish in the league this season? I'm going for 12th. I think we can finish 12th.
14th.
15th.
Tequila, if you're being really cynical and funny.
No.
22nd.
No.
Sorry, Tequila. Sorry.
If somebody's asked you, right? Have you? This is true.
No.
Giant's asking, have you got a Tudor impression yet?
I've got to hear him speak first. I've never heard the man speak, so I don't know what he sounds like.
I wonder what Ange would be thinking, James. Of it. I wonder what Ange would say right now. I wonder. What do you reckon? Should we ask our impression?
No, I said I'm stopping the Ange thing because I this is actually what I've said because I'm
flogging a dead horse now. Is that one?
I'll tell you what it is. I'm guilty of going against what I just said. Even though I personally find it very funny, I know that some people don't. So me continuously to kind of poke that bear, I should stop, despite me finding it funny. So I'm going to stop poking the bear because that makes me. I'm guilty of continuing to rile people up because there's still people who love that.
It is funny.
There's people who still love Ange. They still do for whatever reason. I don't understand it, but they do. So why? I'm going to take my own advice. I'm going to take my own advice, and I'm going to not fuel the flames.
I wish Ange would come back, Scott, to Celtic.
Maybe next year, bro.
Yeah.
I'll have to listen to Tudor's voice before I can say if I can do the impression or not, because I've got no idea what he sounds like.
Yeah. Big up to Jim. It says, "Hi, Derm. I think we can win the Premier League now." Big up to you, Jim. Oh, it's who we are, Cobber. It is. Big up to Rick Avilia TV. Do get over to Rick Avilia TV, a great channel. And also, Ricky, do hit the email below to O'Connor Designs. They make some cracking stuff, backgrounds and intros and everything. Do and use the promo code. You get 10% off. You will not regret it, believe me, because we've got a lot of stuff coming up as well. But guys, we are going to leave it there. Where am I going? I am going for somewhere. Tequila, where can people find you, bud?
Obviously on here with you chaps, and I'm on the Play Pouch, and I think there's South Park tonight, although it won't be till a bit later because that's a very naughty game. So so join us on there, and thanks Dermo. The last thing I'll say is it's not who we are, mate, and that's not me quoting the Ange. I'm just putting
it's not who we are.
It's not what we are now is not who we are, mate.
No. That is true. James, where can people find you, bud?
You can find me with you two fine gentlemen, which I love doing, and it's always a good time. And you can also follow me over on X at THFC James, where I keep everything updated the best I can.
Yeah, he does great work over there. We are going to link this show onto James's X. We will work our way around it over the weekend. So shows will be going out on James's X as well. So do watch out for that. We do have the return of the North London podcast on Sunday. Me, and I don't know who'll be jumping on with me, with Nick and Brenny, talking all things North London. A lot to get over it because it is a week to the North London derby. Monday and Tuesday, there will be some shows coming out. Monday will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm away. Mrs. Tron is taking me away. Oh, big up, Kate. Hello. Sorry, I didn't see you in there. Mrs. Tron is taking me away for a belated birthday weekend. We were supposed to go last week, but something came up, so we put it over to next week. So we will go on the way. So there will be a few days off. There might be a show coming up late in the week. I don't know, but I will be back on Friday with all your build-up. The build-up show will be Saturday. The North London podcast will be Friday, building up to the game with the guys. Then Sunday, there is your watch-along, your after the whistle as well. And then Monday, there will be play ratings out as well, where we give you our thoughts. And then it's all building up then to the next game. So is it an Igor we trust? Or is it just going to be another Tudor dynasty? Who knows? Whatever you do, come on, you Spurs. I'm going to say, in Igor we trust. Come on.
Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly.